And welcome back, my friends, to ColeJakeTV. I'm your messenger, GB. And if you've been with us this week, you know that we are exploring the Gospel of Luke, chapter 17. We explored verses 20 and 21 the other day. We're getting into verses 22 and 24 today, where we are exploring the topic heading which Jesus most often spoke about, which is the kingdom of God. And if you were with us yesterday, you know that we accentuated what Jesus proclaimed, which is the kingdom of God is where? Within you. Within you, my friends. And as we continue that subject matter today, we're going to pick up our Bibles and open up to verses 22 and 24, and we're going to discover that Jesus' kingdom won't come in the way that you think. So let's dig into our Bibles as we do a book by book and verse by verse exploration of the living words of God each and every weekday here at ColeJakeTV. Thanks for joining us. And this is what Jesus says in verse 22. And then he said to the disciples, "The days will come when you will desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and you will not see it. And they will say to you, 'Look here,' and 'Look there.' Do not go after them or follow them. For as the lightning that flashes out of one part under heaven shines to the other part under heaven, so also the Son of Man will be in his day." So let's dig into these few verses, my friends, and let's just sort of explore here what Jesus is trying to say. Jesus is speaking to his disciples. And Jesus is telling his disciples that when he left this earth, the days would come when Jesus' disciples, both near and far, even up until today, would long for the Messiah's return. And he goes on to speak here and say, "And they will say to you, 'Look here,' and 'Look there.'" And so he's giving a warning. He's trying to explain to his disciples that Satan, the great deceiver, the adversary of God, would know how to take advantage of the longing that is in the hearts of God's people. And he's really describing here that there will be many in Jesus' day and in the days to come, all the way up even into our day today, that claim to be the Messiah themselves. These are false messiahs. This is the spirit of the Antichrist. This is essential for us to realize as believers in Jesus, that these false messiahs, these people that claim to be the Messiah, don't fool us. So he goes on to say, do not go after them. Do not follow them. Do not follow false religions. Do not follow false messiahs. For if you really think about it, in Jesus' day and in the centuries that follow, and in the centuries that followed Jesus, since Jesus spoke these words, if you really think about it, there have been many, many people who have claimed to be the Messiah. And some have had even significant followings over the years. Let's think about this for a moment. Jesus' solemn warning to us in these few verses: do not go after them or follow them. Instead, we should disregard them. Have there been denominations and believers and people in the past that have claimed to predict Jesus' coming, even onto the very specific day? Yes, there have. And they've been wrong. And what does the Bible say? If they are wrong, they are false prophets. You know, Dr. Charles Feinberg, this is a noted ancient Jewish Christian scholar. He has said that in the course of Israel's history, since the time of Jesus, some 64 different individuals have appeared claiming to be the Messiah. 64. This is not even that far back in our distant past. Men like David Koresh claimed to be the Messiah. Men like Jim Jones, Sun Moon, and many others have all claimed to be the Messiah. These are false prophets. These are false messiahs. These are the people, and many others, that have claimed to be the Messiah. And Jesus is trying to give us a heads up, a warning. You know, many Orthodox Jews thought, and I think still think, that there have been people in their culture that was the Messiah. Even more, though, have disregarded the true Messiah in one sense or another without even really looking at it. You know, the Jewish Bible today stops at Malachi, doesn't even enter into the New Testament, refuses to even acknowledge the New Testament books. And what does Jesus say? For as the lightning that flashes, think about that. Think about how lightning flashes across the sky. He says, in his day, the day of the Messiah's triumph, all will see, even as everyone notices, lightning that flashes across the sky. Those who claim that Jesus has returned or will return in his day, in some sense, are mistaken. This has been spoken about over the years, especially over the last 2,000 years, from different and myriads of people. And what is Jesus trying to get across to us here? Jesus is trying to tell us that the kingdom of God will come in a way in which you do not expect. And so what we must do as born-again believers is we must look at the scriptures with a fresh eye upon Jesus and a fresh look at what Jesus is doing in our lives, realizing that what Jesus has already told us and promised, the kingdom of God does not come in the way you think. For the kingdom of God is where? It's within you. It's within you. I cannot nail that home enough. I cannot accentuate that enough. The kingdom of God is within you. So tomorrow, as you come back and join us, we're going to start into verse 25, where Jesus' kingdom, it cannot come until he finishes his work on earth. And we'll explain that tomorrow. So until then, I'm your messenger GB here at CJTV. Come back and join us tomorrow. Until then, have a blessed day.